Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Dragon Universe. This is the Blue Dragon, Actuarial channel, and this weekend has been a very tough weekend for me. I was traveling here and there. One of my friend was in some medical emergency, and I had to be there. So the last week I was there. Before that, I was in one of my friend's marriage, and it's a very long trip that has come to an end, and luckily it is a very happy ending to all of those. The medical emergency was kind of we were able to save what was needed to be saved, and obviously marriage is always happy and you get to smile a bit. So, and I also get to see the big fat Indian wedding, because in our side, because I belong to West Bengal, so in that side of the country the weddings are very very small. But when you come to the other part of India, I think the weddings are huge, right? And it's always dance and drama going on there. So it's really a big experience for me and a new experience for me, right? So I am glad that the trip came to an end. But usually I record my videos 1 week in advance, but this time I was not able to do that because things were a bit unplanned. So I'm releasing this video just at the last moment, to keep up with my promise of one video every week. Now, this video is related to the future domains of Actuary, and it is very important that we get to predict the future. Now, any people who has worked with me, especially my team members who has reported to me, basically, I used to tell them there are three important things that you need to know to be successful in life. First is self-awareness and not self-love. I've already made a video on self-awareness and self, because self-love is a concept that are kind of practiced by many of the females, and I wanted to ensure that you don't go in the wrong path. So I already made a psychological video on self awareness and self love that is present in this channel. You can see that video. I made it long back. And the second most important thing after self awareness and maybe self love concept clarity is decision making, is future prediction, and the third most important would be the decision making, right? So I think that in that order, if you are self aware, you will be able to predict the future well. If you are able to predict the future well, then you would be able to do good decision making, right? So that's what probably this that is the mindset of this video. And along with that, you'll also gain understanding about future domains of Actuary that is upcoming, and also what Blue Dragon Universe is going to do probably, and how it is going to contribute in your life. But before we proceed to that, it is very important and some important to understand what feedback is and how you should take feedback. And in today's video, you should see a practical application of how you should take a feedback, and probably how you should not take a feedback. And that is also related to the self awareness part, because in self awareness there are no good or bad feedbacks. These are just feedback, and you need to take those important part of those feedback, because feedback would be given to you in a nasty manner, right? And you need to assess and remove the nasty part of that, and take the feedback that is relevant for you, which can help you improve. In fact, all my improvements in my life has come from feedbacks which are very very nasty, but I was able to remove that nasty part and concentrate on what is important. So without further ado, let's move on into the video, and let's understand and probably finish this video quickly, right, without compromising on the quality, right? So this is one of the feedback that I got on that video. This video also received a lot of love, especially part one received a lot of love, but part two uh, also has some mixed response in that. And this is how it should be. When I was making the video, I realized that paper actuary and proper actuary, the sort of language that was used, and that was also intended, that was deliberate, it would rub some people in it, maybe a bit aggressively, and people would get kind of uh, people would feel the urge to kind of response, because if for someone paper is their biggest achievement, they think writing that FIA or whatever FIII would be something that they are looking forward to, and that's when they would believe that they have arrived in life. So that video is going to hit those persons very hard, and that is kind of expected. So although this video also got some love, but it also received some mixed response, right? And One of the person that is that responded to this video is Manav Memani, and he responded that he basically trolled me, like saying that paper actually makes YouTube videos, calling me a paper actuary basically, and gives gan on random topics and lives a lonely, boring life. So this is the the trolling portion. However, proper actuary does actual work rather than giving gans and everything, right? So I actually checked some of the comments, and this comment was brought up to me by one of my colleague in Blue Dragon Universe, and that person was very livid, like he wanted to take action against this person, and that is exactly how you should not take feedback, right? Whenever someone is giving you feedback, and that feedback is not good, right, not positive feedback, then you should not take action against that person. Like when someone kind of brought this feedback to me, it was like that person was livid, saying that you should take action. Why not, maybe, and some random drastic step, like why not we mail the employers of this person, or why not we send a legal, so how can that person call you paper actually, etc., etc., right? And I was like kind of amused with the reaction, but also I wanted to check if there is something that is worth taking from this troll. So what I was kind of able to take some, or what I could take or make out of this feedback is this line, which is written as random topic, right? So I was I was thinking on this randomness, like am I making videos in a random manner? And what I felt is in some extent that is true. And how can I make not so random videos is something that we are going to talk in this. And how can you probably maybe be focused on a particular theme in your life, and then once that theme is kind of over, you can move on to other things in life, right? And whenever I was checking the comment made by this person, and I think this person also made another comment, so that is how this person kind of makes the comment. He trolls, right? He comes and trolls, right? So I would believe that he's a very young person who, kind of like to give back to others, in maybe whenever he finds something offensive, he tries to give back to that person in that manner, which is a very immature way to kind of work. But I mean, credit to him, and maybe thanks to him as well, because I also got to learn something. So yeah, from that way, and from that thought process is where I asked my team members to kind of, if we are making something random, then why not give it a structure, right? From where we came to this slide, which is our entire thought process of what we are going to do in the next 1 year. Because right now we are done with the administrative difficulties, there are very minor bit that is left, and that will always be there, because whenever you are running a private limited company, right, there will be something related to compliance. I am also doing it for the first time, my partners are doing it for the first time. So obviously there will be some compliance, some cs related things that you have to you have to take care of, something related to GST, website and everything, the payment gateway integration. All of these are really tough things. These are not easy to do in India. The ease of doing business in India is pretty bad, I can tell you that. But we thought that first let us deal with the administrative issues, and then we'll promote our courses, and then we'll get back to the creation. And now we are at that stage, and I'm very happy that we have reached that stage, that now we can concentrate more on the the course creation. And because of that feedback, I thought that let us do something, do some planning, and let us try to do maybe a 1 year planning, and see how we can proceed ahead, right? So 22nd March to 21st March, we are kind of doing live sessions on actual software. Now the moment this post was published, there are many people who reached out to me once again, saying that why can't you do maybe a 2 day course instead of 5 days? The reason I don't want to do that is that will be too overwhelming, because if you want to understand how different, when you want to see the inner workings of an actual software, it's very difficult actually to understand. So that's why I wanted to spread it spread over days. But once again, those are feedback that we have to consider, and we are thinking on that. Uh, but once again, I'd like to kind of advise and reiterate that instead of messaging me, because I'm still on a temporary LinkedIn break, and that break would probably continue till 30th September of this year. message this page, which is our Blue Dragon Universe page. You can see the the website link as well. I think the link is there in the description of the video as well. You can just type Blue Dragon Universe page in LinkedIn and you can get to this page. Please follow and share this page so that any update related to Blue Dragon Universe would be would be first given in this page, and then it will flow into our other channels instead of messaging me, because I understand that you understand, you kind of take me as the face of the the Blue Dragon Universe, but I mean there are other people, so you should kind of message there and you will get much quicker and prompt response. So this is the the purpose of that feedback. Like whenever someone give me a feedback, I have to take that feedback, I have to take remove the nasty part, the trolling part of it, and see how it can add value to my life, right? And depending on that, we have created this, and you will see that in the future our videos will be themed on this maybe topic. Like obviously for March it can be slightly like it should be in the same manner that we were creating the videos till now, but from April, our next launch would be 31st May 2024, IFRS 17 and SPO. So the videos would be centered on IFRS 17 and SPO. Then our next launch is 31st July, which is Excel Part 1 and SQL. So you will see the videos in that manner so that it will not look random to some random person, right? So that feedback is very, very important for us, and we appreciate the feedback. And yeah, obviously, although some of my team members, was kind of uh, wanting to take action, but that is normal. When you put yourself in social media, you will be subject to trolling, you will be subject to especially with the type of videos that I make, right? Those are highly thought provoking or opinionated videos. So in such videos, there the reactions are normal, and you have to live with that. So also a message to my team members not to take everything so seriously. Anyways, so this is what I wanted to communicate, that whenever someone gives you feedback, there might be some good portion that is present in that video, and you have to work on that, and you cannot be maybe agitated by the remaining part of the comment. You have to take the good part out of it, right? So talking about the good part, right? What it will kind of make you do is multitasking, and this is a very important topic for today's video as well, and you will see as we proceed in the course of our video. So you cannot do or our team even cannot create something like this or follow this and maintain the deadlines like we are supposed to do if they do not multitask, right? So they have to do their own job, they have to earn money from other direction as well, and they also have to create the video. So this is very, very important that we multitask. And as an actuary, I think one of the most important thing other than clearing papers and maybe gaining knowledge of your industry is multitask. If you can multitask, then you can do multiple things, and you'll also see why it is going to be even more important in the future. So the current domains of actuary is predominantly insurance, which is general insurance and life insurance. Then there is pension. So these two are the kind of the primary employers of actuaries: general insurance, life insurance, and pensions. This is where most of the people work. And there is also something people call that investment, but I'll call it asset modeling, because that is not investment, that is actually asset modeling. And a very small section of actuaries are also working in this asset modeling, although asset modeling is predominantly done by investment team, right? In insurance, that is why that domain is called investment, but it is actually asset modeling where you trying to see the convexity, the immunization, the duration, etc., and how your liability cash flows are kind of matching with the asset cash flow. So that is also kind of done by actuaries, but actuaries are not the owner of that. Actuaries are the owner of liabilities, and that is where actuaries get their kind of signing authority and powers and everything else, right? So these are the current domains of actuary, and I think many people who are subscribed to my channel at least know about this, and they probably have clear idea about how uh, actuaries work in this domain. If you do not know about this, you can visit our website. Once again, the link would be there in the description, and there is a small section in our website in the very first page called introduction to actuary, where I have created couple of videos around I think 4 to 6 hours content is there for a fresher who is not aware of all of this, to understand how to approach the actual career, what would be the different ways you can enter and be an actuary, and what are the exams, right? And how you should prepare for a job, and what are the salary levels or the stipend levels for internship, how you usually get job, whether it is through internship, right? So all of those questions for a fresher would be answered in that, and it's a completely free course. You need not pay a penny to me. So that's, and there is also a FAQ section that I have created for, like frequently asked questions. You can ask, something there, and you can check that section as well once again free of cost. And even after that, if you have some questions, right, then you can book a session with me. That would be a paid session, but you can go ahead and book a session with me, right? But that is only for 500 rupees. You can talk to me for 90 minutes, right? So these are the current domains of Actuary. Now moving on, upcoming domains of Actuary. So this I would believe to be the upcoming domains of Actuary, that is artificial intelligence, general insurance, general or life insurance is the reason I've written general or life, because artificial intelligence will also impact the general insurance and the life insurance, but it is not limited to that. In fact, that's why I've written data science as well, because then you can, like in future, you will see actuaries working for Google, Amazon, right, and many other things. Like the famous Elon Musk mentioned that, and actuaries, they want some highly skilled actuaries, right? So I mean, everything is possible, right? So that is something that is going to happen, and I believe right now maybe only 1.5 years is left till the time we'll see some transition of actuaries into those domain. The second is, I believe, trading. Now, trading is the bigger term. Like investment is also a form of trading. So, trading is the bigger term. Trading is the bigger umbrella. And in there, the maximum risk is present in derivatives. Now, this is something that I personally do on a day-to-day basis. I have a different YouTube channel as well, Blue Dragon Trading. I have different courses on trading as well. But trading is all about mindset. Nobody can make you a profitable, kind of trader. They can only reduce the learning curve, but they cannot make you a profitable trader. Only 1% trader in the world is, kind of profitable. The SEBI report suggests that 89% people trading in derivatives are loss making, and out of those 11% who are actually profitable, 10% makes profit less than 50,000, and only 1% makes profit which is more than 1 lakh. So you can understand how difficult it is to make money in trading, because in trading there is no entry barrier, but there are so many ways you can lose your money and become bankrupt. So that is why the maximum application of risk happens in trading, and especially in derivatives, not in investment like the traditional investment where you invest on a share for 25 years and forgot about that, and then after 25 years the share has grown. And that situation or that time period has also passed, because earlier, 25 years before this time, then the world was not such evolved. Right now the world has evolved, so the world will not see that much of momentum or gain in share market or stock market, because now we have reached a, like we're closer to the peak. So now it will go slightly up, and then it will come down, then it will slightly go up, which makes sense to do trading, right? And especially derivatives will allow you to take multiple different direction. Like in investment you can only take the upward direction, right? But in trading you can also take the downward direction in derivatives. So that is something where I see a lot of application of actuaries, and this is actually the investment, or that the that sort of domain related to the market sort of domain where actuaries can be employed. And finally, then another way or another domain where actuaries can be employed is banks. Like there are several risks that is very high in banks, like liquidity risk, for example, credit risk, very high in bank. So there, that is there. Actuaries can add significant value. However, the current issues in these areas are seniors of these areas, like people who hire, and I can tell you because I have been on the other side of the table where I've been hired, and I have also been on the the senior side of the table where I am hiring someone, right? I am responsible for the decision. So I'll also obviously like to hire an actuary, right? Because I belong to this domain. However, person who is maybe in the trading business, right? That person would like to hire someone from his culture or his educational background. Like most of the investment banks that hires people are from IMs or IIT, because the seniors there belong to that domain, right? So that is why they would not look into actuaries to hire. So the moment we'll see some transition, we'll see some actuaries working at higher levels in these areas, then we'll also see more actuaries being hired in these areas, right? So that is one of the main issue. That is why this field has not grown that much, right? And actual students are way too short sighted now. In my that other YouTube channel, there are multiple people who are actual students, but they are Like if I have created a couple of courses, and I can tell you that actual students are more interested in purchasing the traditional courses like CM1, CS1. These are the things that I get query about, but they are not interested in purchasing a trading course. Sometime I received the query that trading courses are too costly, while the maximum fees for my trading course till now is at, I think, around 9,500, 9,900. And if you can learn that course well, it can give you multiple or, multiple amount of revenue or multiple amount of profit, which is much higher than 9,900. In fact, the highest actual course I think is probably for me would be SS7 or SP2, which is priced at around 16,500, which is way higher than a trading course. And but I think the value added in a trading course is much higher, but people are, especially actual students, are not interested in that. And there can be reasons for that, because you need some amount of capital to be successful in capital market, because the word capital is very, very important, right? If you have capital, you can do well in capital market. But actual students at the initial phase, they might not have the capital. However, they're also not willing to learn. They want to go into the traditional domain. I don't blame them for that. But that is also a fact that they are too short-sighted. And people who want to go into trading, they believe that yeah, I mean, they would not like to spend that much amount. They think that that is a wastage of money, right? Which is not. If you are learning from a genuine person, if you are not learning from a genuine person, then even a single rupee spent is kind of waste of money. And I would like to believe that I'm a genuine person, because in my YouTube channel, all the details, all the transparency would be there. If you are subscriber of that channel is in Hindi. But if you are subscriber of that channel, I think you will see 360 days PNL and everything, anything that I think all days live trade would be there, right? So, I mean, I try to keep all the transparency so that people are not misled, because many people do mislead people in these areas, right? However, that does not change the fact that actual students are way too short-sighted. They come, they follow my trading for a couple of days. The moment they see a loss, they say, "Yeah, I don't want to do this. I want to go to salary," because that's what my friends are doing, right? And another thing is, coaching center or institute do not promote this. Coaching center can promote how many people have passed from their institutes, which they should. I mean, that's the business they are in, right? And then institute also promotes the AIR1. Coaching centers also, maybe some of those also promotes AIR1. And there are, that's how it is, right? I mean, they promote that thing. They promote the traditional thing, but they do not promote the non-traditional one, right? And few especially few actuaries in LinkedIn, they call themselves non-traditional, but all they do is just talk, and they move from one seminar to another seminar. So that is not non-traditional areas. Non-traditional areas where are like this, the banking, the investment, the trading, these are non-traditional areas. And if you have good understanding of those areas, you actually create another source of income for yourself, right? But the coaching center people, institute, they do not have knowledge on those areas. They do not want to promote those areas. So that's why the actual students, once again, being at a very young age, they do not have the decision making ability, or they are not in habit of taking their own decisions. They do something what the friends do, or their parents decided for them. So that's why they are, once again, too short sighted to see the growth in this domain. And only after these domains have grown, they would try to come into this domain. But then the others will get that first mover advantage, and they would not, right? So these are the issues in these areas, and I hope you resonate with what I wanted to say for these issues. Moving on. So what do you need to do? So first of all, you cannot change your focus from traditional things like exam and traditional jobs, like the insurance jobs. You have to work on that, because these are upcoming things. These are not here yet. Maybe something would be here in 2.5 years, right? So what would you do for 2.5 years if you do not focus on the tradition? So you have to clear your exam, and then you have to probably work in a job. But along with that, you also need to learn these upcoming areas. Like, I think AI would be the first to invade actuary, and many paper actuaries will be going jobless, right? So, and that is the need of the hour. There are many fellows in the industry who do not have knowledge, and if you do not have knowledge, you should not be working in actuary. Actuary is a professional course. It is supposed to be learned through a profession. And if your knowledge is just limited to the papers, which is the very basic, and which you do not use in day to day life, then I mean, you needed to be removed from the actual industry, and that is going to happen very soon. That is going to happen, and for that, I believe that you need to focus on learning upcoming areas, and that is where it is important that you multitask, that you have to focus on the traditional thing as well, but you have to focus, or you have to keep some additional time for the upcoming areas, and that can be dependent on what you like. You might like trading, so you focus on that. You might like artificial intelligence, focus on that. You might like all of this, like I do. I'm in the learning process of artificial intelligence, and trust me, it is much related to maths and stat. If you have a good hold in maths, then anything and everything in finance is kind of easy for you. Right? If you understand the calculus and the inner workings of calculus, like the limit, derivative, why a function need to be continuous for it to be differentiable. If you understand this, then you will understand the calculus. Then you will understand the stochastic calculus. If you understand stochastic calculus, you will understand Brownian motion. If you understand Brownian motion, then you will have the theoretical understanding of stock market movement. Then you will understand the Greeks associated with it, right? And how you can use the Greeks to form formula strategy. So all of these are kind of interrelated, right? And you can only do that, you can only learn an additional field rather than or other than what you are learning right now, if you have time. And now you need to have time. If you need to have time, then you have to multitask, right? That is why self study comes into picture. Now most of the actual student these days, like when I was visiting that marriage, like I mentioned, there are a couple of people who are very new, like who are just fresher in that marriage, because the person that was getting married was also in actual domain. So I had the chance to speak with a couple of people, and I asked them this question, like, do you prefer digital sort of actual coaching, or you prefer physical kind of connect, right? And most of them said that we want some sort of physical connect, so that we can see the teacher, right? And but in Blue Dragon universe, we are not doing that, right? We are only in the digital platform. The reason we are not doing that, a, it is cost effective. Second, we believe in self study, and we believe that coaching centers should be enablers, like I mentioned in that the paper actuary versus proper actuary video as well, that coaching centers should be your enablers. You should pass exam based on your own skill set, and coaching centers should not take credit of you passing the exam. They can only help you, but they cannot do the job for you, right? And if that is happening in a coaching center, then actually that is not good for you, right? So you should pass the exam based on what you know, and the coaching center should be able to help you in that process, right? So if you are doing self study, then you will have some time to do other things as well. But if you are going for a physical interaction with the coaching center people, saying bhaiya wo sikhayenge, bhabhi wo sikhayenge, problem is, then you will there will be some time that you are taking to get to the coaching center, then another time, travel time to come back, right? Then you'll be exhausted, then you'll be doing some other activities. How can you focus on the other areas, right? And couple this with a job, like when you are in internship, when you are in job, then also you are going for physical interaction with the coaching center people. It's very difficult for you to kind of focus on other areas, so you'll be stuck in the traditional areas, and which is what happens. Many people drop out after a certain time, because life happens, life is difficult, and after a certain point of time you will struggle to do multiple things, right? And multitasking is, that's a very important. People who do multitasking well would get higher rating. And I mean, I have seen that happen in my life as well. So obviously self study is very important, and you need to purchase course thinking that the other course will help you in that. Like if the other person is genuine, like I mentioned in trading, the other person is genuine, the other person will share the experience, right, with you. And other person will share the knowledge with you, so that your, once again, your learning curve reduces. But it is you, the other person can only take you to a maybe an intermediate level, but the advanced level, you yourself has to climb from the intermediate level to advanced levels. No one can take you there. And in any profession, right, in any profession, the people who are at advanced level has gone to that level on their own. No coaching center or nothing can take you to that level. That's completely a game of mindset. The more focused you are, the more you would be, or the more passionate you are about a particular domain, the more you learn in that domain. So with that, we'll come to the end of this video. If you have any question related to any of this field, you can ask that question to me in the comment section, or to the team. Someone from my team can, kind of also respond to those questions. And do watch out for the courses. In this year, we are mainly focused on some of the actual papers. right? Like those which we have not recorded, and also on few of the current topics, but in traditional areas like IFRS 17, Excel VBA, right? So all of these are traditional areas from 2025 April, right? We would be focusing on the non-traditional areas as well. But before that, we'll start with a flavor of the non-traditional areas. Like maybe we'll have 1 month focus on bank, right? So that our like the feedback that has been suggested, so that our videos do not appear random to a person, right? So that's what the goal for the next financial year would be. In the upcoming 2 weeks, there might not be any videos because I'll be busy with the courses, right? And after a long time, we'll be busy with the promotion and everything of the courses because the administrative hassles are kind of over. So there might not be any videos, but I will try to create the videos as well. But if you do not get any videos for maybe next 2 weeks till the end of March, don't get disheartened. I mean, from April, once again, it will continue from April. Like I mentioned, there's a theme, IFRS 17 and the health insurance, right? So you'll see videos on those themes on that that regard. And thankfully, thanks to the feedback that I have received, I forgot the name of the person now. So thanks to that feedback, and so that we can improve, right, and we can grow in our own way, right? So with that, I close this video. Please share this video with a friend. Please prepare for the upcoming actual domain. If you have any other domain that you think will come up, write that in the comment section. And yeah, hit like, share, and subscribe, and see you in future.